going on, guys? It is Rinne-Hatake here, back with another video, and today I got What If Goku Was Sent to Jiren's World one-shot series, and hopefully you guys do enjoy this what if scenario. But there also will be a like goal of 15 likes on this video, so hopefully you guys do hit that like button. So I know that you guys are enjoying this what if. But without further ado, let's begin this what if scenario. This story would begin at the age of 736. Everything up till now was smooth sailing for Bardock, but Bardock didn't anticipate what was going to happen next. So Bardock would send Goku to Earth, or would try to, like in canon. But on Goku's way to Earth, there would happen to be something heading his way. That something happened to be a destroyer. This destroyer heading Goku's way would happen to be Belmont and Margarita, his angel. The destroyer of Universe 11 would come across a space pod of a young Saiyan infant. Belmont would stop the ship with his hand and peer inside. The destroyer would look at this infant and say, "What a shame! A young infant about to die because of the ignorance of his parents." "Pardon, my lord," Margarita would interfere. "Oh, what is it?" he grumbled. "Maybe instead of killing him, why not take him to our universe instead?" she suggested. "Our universe, you say?" Belmont would ponder this for a few moments. "All right then." As the destroyer would proceed to take Goku and travel back to his universe. And there's a side note. Belmont is only in Universe 7 because he's searching for the Super Dragon Balls. At the current moment, he doesn't have any. But we move. The destroyer and his attendant flew back to their universe with Goku in tow. And as they would arrive, the first thing they would do is raise the boy till he was the age of 4 years old. And the one who was raising him is mainly Margarita, as Margarita would teach him the basics and help him with a lot of stuff. The most basic things, teaching him how to read, how to write, languages, and stuff like that. But Goku is still a Saiyan, so he's still very hostile, but to Margarita, he's more nicer to her because Goku kind of thinks she's more of like a mother figure, but she doesn't act like it though. But we move from this. One day, Goku had just finished up training, but Belmont would be a little nicer today, as Goku would wonder why. But he doesn't think too hard on this, as he would just go to Belmont telling him that he's finished training. And Belmont would give him a weirdly evil-looking smile and say, "Alright, Goku, good job. Here, take this drink." As Goku drank this drink that Belmont gave him, he would suddenly feel woozy as he would drop unconscious. As Belmont would smile and say, "Well, it's time to commence with our plan." As this drink was laced with a drug to put Goku to sleep. As the next day, Goku would wake up in a new environment with new people. And these people are like the great aliens, that basically like Jiren's people, right? So when he would wake up and see the new people, Goku would be very hostile at first since he doesn't know who they are. But after a few weeks of the people persisting and trying to be kind to Goku, Goku would start to get along with them. But he'd start to get along with one boy specifically, who was 3 years older than he was. This boy was looked up to by all the kids in his village. His name is Jiren. Jiren and Goku wouldn't really become friends at the beginning, but after a while, they started to hang out and become more like friends. As they did hang out, Goku would notice that Jiren always heads away in like a very specific time pattern, like he was doing something in between the times that he was hanging out. And he was right, as one day, Jiren would lead Goku to, his dojo, or to his master's dojo, as Jiren would introduce Goku to his master, Gichin. As, Goku would be introduced, Goku and Gichin kind of got along, and basically Gichin decided to take Goku under his wing and become his master, or sensei. So as from then on, Goku would train under Gichin, or they would train under Gichin and under his guidance, and become stronger. So yeah, these two are always getting stronger as they push each other to greater heights, as they were passionate about their training and getting stronger, but their master would always humble them and give them life lessons. Goku, Jiren, remember these words and take them to heart, as the two disciples would pay attention, or pay very close attention. That goes for every single one of you, he exclaims to the rest of his students. Passion very often makes the wisest men fools, and very often makes the greatest fools with wit. As they all heard this, they were confused by what it meant, but since they were good students, they would remember and keep it to heart. So we time skipped 3 years. Goku and Jiren have now gotten older and stronger, with Goku just being a little weaker than Jiren was. All this was good. They were having great 3 years, and everything was good. They had a good day, they had a good training session that day, and Gichin even asked them to catch dinner, as this was their favorite thing to do. But as they got back to the village to go to their dojo, they saw utter chaos. As the buildings were set on fire, the townspeople were laying on the ground, dead. As Goku and Jiren saw this, they felt fear and shock, but most of all, they felt worried for their master and their friends. So they dropped everything immediately and rushed to the dojo to only witness a massacre, a bloodbath. As they would drop to their knees, seeing their master or their father figure laying on the ground dead, with a gaping hole in his chest. No, 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 they yelled, as they got up and ran to their master. Except Goku, as Jiren would cry, Master! As he wept, Goku would slowly approach them with disbelief in his eyes. As he would slowly approach, a fellow student of Gichin would stop him. He grabbed Goku by the leg and whispered his final breath, Avenge us, Goku! As Goku would finally snap, he would release all of his pent-up emotions. Goku would release a cry that would reach the heavens. As a golden aura would engulf him as his hair would rise, the planet would begin to shake and the sky grew dark. Lightning struck the grounds. Waves would grow to the size of mountains as Goku's power skyrocketed, and he would scream and cry as Jiren could only watch. As Goku's aura would finally stabilize, his hair rose and his hair turned blonde. His power was beyond anything anyone has ever seen. As we go to Belmont. Meanwhile, with Belmont, as the god of destruction, was watching this through his crystal or through Margarita's staff, he would be smirking. Good work, he would say to the mysterious figure. Here's your pay, assassin. Thank you. I'll be on my way, the assassin replied with a deep tone, as the assassin leaves on his ship to go back to his universe. The assassin had just left and went back to his own universe. Margarita. Belmont would call. Margarita. What is it, my lord? She would reply. Set a course to the planet. Or to that planet, he would say with a wicked smile. As you wish, she replied. They set off to Jiren's planet, and it would take them about 30 minutes to arrive. But meanwhile, Goku has just transformed into a Super Saiyan and has gone berserk. Goku, in a fit of rage and sorrow, would destroy mountains, decimate valleys, cause even more chaos and destruction than before. Jiren, who saw this, would try to calm Goku down, but in the end, it was futile. Goku would backhand Jiren and send him rolling on the ground. As he would lay there injured and call to Goku, Goku, stop this senseless destruction, he pleaded. But Goku snapped and wouldn't listen to reason, as Goku would dash towards Jiren like a ferocious beast. But as he was about to land a finishing blow, a beam fell from the sky, and it got between Goku and Jiren. Belmont would hold Goku's fist while saying, It's been a while, or it's been a minute, hasn't it, Goku? As Belmont would chop the back of Goku's neck and knocking him unconscious, as Jiren would lose consciousness from the injuries and the trauma. 3 full days have passed, and Goku and Jiren have finally woken up in Belmont's planet, as they would wake up in a cold sweat, looking around them, as they suddenly remember what had happened, and their memories hit them like a truck. Tears would stream from their face, as they could cry for a few hours and mourn for their master's death. After they cried a river, Margarita and Belmont would finally arrive. As Belmont would say, "You finally stopped with all the waterworks. Thank goodness," making a snarky remark. "You want revenge, right?" asking the two of them. They'd both nod in unison. "Well, if that's the case, then go to this planet," as he shows them through Margarita's staff. To them, it looked like an isolated planet that had no life, but Belmont would reassure them that this planet was no ordinary planet, as he explains the planet's ups and downs. This planet has insane levels of gravity that could crush even the most seasoned of warriors. The planet's gravity is 500 times normal gravity, which would make even standing on it difficult. Don't worry too much, because the worst thing you have to deal with are the creatures that live there." Both of them would shout, "Creatures actually live there?" "Yes, of course. And these aren't your run-of-the-mill weak ones that you had to face on your planet. They are much faster, stronger, and more durable." As Belmont continued to explain this to them, "Alright, that about sums it up. Are you ready to go?" he'd say, as both of them look hesitant. Knowing the information about this planet, they know that this planet had far greater creatures and an incredible amount of gravity that would crush them to bits. But as they would look at each other, they would nod, stealing their resolve and confidence as they would walk over to Margarita, as she'd say, hold on, as their journey would be a pretty long one. We time skip. It'd take them 2 days from their current location to arrive. But when they finally arrived, Margarita wouldn't say a word and instantly leave them, as she was protecting them with a barrier for a little while. But when she left, the two would instantly get crushed by the weight of the gravity. And they couldn't even move a singular finger for about a long time. So they would struggle for at least 2 weeks. Mind you, they're still kids. They're still 7. Well, Goku's about 7 years old, and Jiren at this current time is about 10. So yeah. Well, it's going to be difficult for them to stand, as they struggled for 2 weeks to even stand, and are on the brink of starvation, as Goku mustered up the last of his energy, screaming and forcing himself to stand, as he would have succeeded. Jiren, seeing this, would steal his resolve and rise to his feet, both of them barely even standing, as they would walk, pushing themselves to their limits, and it would walk to a nearby bush with berries. This bush was at least 2 meters away from them. Usually it'd be easy, you just have to walk there, but the gravity was making it so difficult to even do that. So yeah, we'd move. They'd walk until they reached the bush, immediately grab the berries and stuff their faces. And the bush was empty of their berries, because they stuffed their faces. They ate the whole bush dry. So yeah, as they finished eating, Goku would say or exclaim, "This is unbearable!" As Jiren would reply saying, "I know." As these two would go on like this for 3 more weeks. After 3 weeks, their body would actually finally adjust to the gravity, but it would take them a long while to even do this. They had to constantly move throughout that 3 weeks to even be able to do that. But yeah, once their body had finally adjusted, they were even able to run. So yeah, we're gonna time skip 12 years. Goku and Jiren at this time would be 19. Goku would be 19 and Jiren would be 22. They have progressed a lot since they were younger and have developed their strength. They would have developed new techniques that would give them the edge over the monsters and creatures that inhabit the planet. Jiren's abilities. We're going to list off some of Jiren's abilities. Jiren can attack anyone with just a glance, basically using his ki. His other ability is to create an energy barrier or a shield against, and it can fend off energy-like attacks. He also has superhuman strength, speed, endurance, and durability, and reflexes. Side note, Jiren's base power level, is comparable to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10. Now that is tough, but we're now listing Goku's abilities. Goku has the ability to create a Keyblade like Goku Black, but it's much more effective than Goku Black's because if he's able to cut or even slash anyone, the tiniest cut or slash, he's able to make them weak for a period of time, like weaken them for a period of time. So it's like Stain's ability to lick blood, and he would like paralyze you, but it's better because you don't have to lick the blood. And it could just weaken the opponent, not stop them or paralyze them. And another of Goku's ability. Goku also has the ability to absorb energy and store the energy in his body or limbs. And if he releases the stored up energy, he can double his speed or strength. So the energy that he's absorbed can be like ki and stuff like that. And basically, if he releases it all at once throughout his whole body, it would double his speed and strength by a lot. And we have another side note. His second ability is much like the quirk Fa Jin. It's much like Fa Jin, but like not using kinetic energy. But we move. He also has access to Super Saiyan 3, and it doesn't have an effect on Goku's draining. Or, yeah, it doesn't really drain Goku that much. It doesn't really drain him that much, so yeah. I did say he has the ability to absorb and store, so like that's how the draining of Super Saiyan 3 wouldn't really affect him, because he's able to drain others' energy and use it for himself as well. So like that's like a plus for Goku. Another side note for Goku is his base form is also comparable to Jiren, if not a little stronger. And we're not talking about canon Jiren, we're talking about Jiren in this story. So yeah, we move from this. They would finally reach an insane amount of strength, and Margarita would be tasked to pick them up. Margarita would arrive to this planet after like 2 days, and would see Goku and Jiren eating one of the creatures. As she looked at them and felt their tremendous aura, as she smiled. "It looks like your training paid off," Margarita would say, with a smile. "Yeah," Goku would reply. "We are ready to avenge our master and our friends," Jiren would say, as Margarita would tell them to hold on and let me say that again. Margarita would tell them to hold on as they would, need to go back to Lord Belmont. As they do so, they ended up going back to Belmont's planet. It take them another 2 days. As they would arrive to Belmont's planet, Belmont would, talk, like, basically, give them a welcome, saying, "It's been a while. It's been some time, my dear warriors," Belmont would say. Both of them would just nod. "Not very talkative, I see. But that doesn't matter. I have called you back for a reason. The reason is, I want you two to join the Pride Troopers. You will be supervised by none other than a God of Destruction candidate, Toppo," Belmont would state. He would continue explaining why he would want them to join, and after some persuading, he would convince them to join the Pride Troopers. And it would time skip a few months. After they joined the Pride Troopers, word of this spread throughout Universe 11 like wildfire. 2 new faces have joined them. A water break is very necessary. Alright, now that I'm hydrated, we continue. 2 new faces have joined the Pride Troopers. Is all you can hear in Universe 11. That's like the main news. And on their first mission, they wipe out a wild band of space pirates, as their fame skyrocketed even more. As through more missions, their fame, their money, and all that, and would skyrocket to insane heights, and would even spread beyond Universe 11, the word was spread beyond Universe 11, people from other universes would hire the Pride Troopers to help them in any problem So Belmont would give them a ship that can travel through universes, like the box, the box that we see in Universe, in the box that we'd see in Universe 6 tournament with Universe 7. Yeah, that box, like, spaceship. Yeah, that's basically the one. But yeah, we move. So, as they get hired from other universes, and making them rely on them more instead of, whatever resources they had. So yeah. Belmont would see this or see their progress and would have an evil smile, saying it's all going according to plan. As Goku and Jiren's fame grew, so did their strength, as they constantly trained and honed their skills, waiting for the day that they'd come across the assassin. It was a peaceful day at a fancy space bar, as Goku had convinced Jiren to go out to have a few drinks. The bartender was pretty chill, and would give them one on the house, as they would drink and have fun, just playing pool, having a few drinks here and there. But they were enjoying themselves. But Toppo would approach them, saying, "Ah, Goku and Jiren, just the people I was looking for." Toppo would say friendly. "What is it, Toppo?" Goku would say, grumbling. We're trying to have a few drinks here, Goku would say on a rant. "Well, you see, you've been asked to go on a mission to kill an assassin." As Goku and Jiren both heard this, they immediately sobered up. Jiren would ask, "Who exactly wants us to kill this assassin?" Toppo would inform them that the person remains anonymous, as he continues to explain that they're here to kill the assassin with a black cloak, but not much information is given on them. But they did give them a photo of what the assassin would look like. As Toppo would show them the picture, Jiren and Goku's ki would flare up, as the bar would start to shake. "It's him," Goku would say in an angry tone. "It's time for revenge," Jiren would say, looking intimidating, as the two would calm themselves and leave the bar. And I haven't said that they seen this person yet, but when they were in Belmont's planet, Belmont would have shown them a similar picture of what the assassin would look like, so that's how they know what the assassin looks like. But we move. As the two of them would leave the space bar, they would, find the location or get the location of the assassin and would head over, using their ship that can travel through universes. As they head over to Universe 6, as they would arrive, it would take them a long time, but their ship was pretty fast, so it would take them at least a week at least to arrive, as they have the location still, and this assassin would stay in that location for a little while longer. And the only reason why he would stay there is because the assassin was hired again by Belmont. Belmont would hire the assassin to stay there because Belmont would say that there is someone he wants to assassinate there, and they will be arriving after a week or so. So yeah, Belmont's literally setting them all up with his big brain plan. But we move. As they would arrive after a very long, trip, Jiren, after a very long trip, yeah. So they would arrive to the planet, and once they do, they saw it was a bustling city, as Goku and Jiren would split up and try to sense out the assassin's ki, because there was too many people down there, and they had to find the right one. As Goku would try to sense his ki, but while he was doing so, he found someone in a mysterious alleyway with a black cloak, and he matched the height not really the height description, because not much of a description was given, but it matched what the picture looked like. He got the picture from his pocket and looked at the picture and looked at Hit, who is over there. He would see that they look exactly the same, and that must be it. So Goku, using telepathy, yes, he does have telepathy, he was able to inform Jiren, and Jiren would fly over, get the message from Goku and fly over to Goku's location. But meanwhile, Goku would confront this man, flying down from the sky and landing on the ground. "So it's you I'm after," Goku would say menacingly, releasing his bloodlust. Hit, the assassin, would feel fear for the first time. "Who are you?" he would say nervously. "I am your worst nightmare," he would say with an evil smile, as Goku would move so fast that he couldn't react and gut punch Hit and send him flying. After that, Goku would proceed to decimate Hit, as it would become even worse when Jiren joins in. It would turn into a massacre. They started jumping Hit. Hit got beaten so bad he was unrecognizable. But after, they beat hit to a pulp. Like, this man is so unrecognizable, he's about to die. Yeah, but before Hit died, or was about to die, they asked him a question. Why did you go after that village? As Hit would say, before his dying breath, I was ordered to by Belmont. But he'd pass away and died before he was able to finish his sentence. As Goku and Jiren would be shocked. Belmont, they whispered under their breath. As they start thinking about when they first met when they first met Belmont, and like many events after that, as Goku and Jiren would fly back in rage and immediately head to Universe 11, as they piece the puzzle together, as they understand why they piece the puzzles together, as Belmont would actually be the person who'd probably do something like this, but they don't even know why. They don't know the reason behind Belmont doing this, but yeah. As Belmont whispered under his breath, they whispered Belmont under their breath. As they would head to Universe 11. And it would take them a long while before they arrive, like another week or so. But once they do arrive, they flew towards Belmont's favorite spot on the planet and would rush to Belmont and try to attack him. As the Pride Troopers who were there would try to stop them, as Toppo would ask them what they're doing, as Goku and Jiren's rage would not let them listen to reason, as they were trying to box. As they began boxing the Pride Troopers, like they put them in a box and folded them so fast that it wasn't even fair. Jiren would glare at them and basically and that'd be enough to knock them all out, as Goku would actually beat them down till they were unconscious. As Belmont would face them saying, "Why the sudden attack, my dear friends?" As he would say this, more anger would erupt from both of them as they would charge at Belmont, saying, "You know what you did!" But Belmont would just, shrug, saying, "I don't exactly know what I did, but I will put you in your place." Peasants, as they would try to attack at Belmont, but Toppo would get in the way of Jiren and proceed to try and stop him. Jiren would beat the life out of Toppo, even with his God of Destruction form, as Jiren would use a bit more power to stop Toppo from, would use a little more power to actually win against Toppo, but not that much that he needed to. But he beat Toppo's life out of him. But meanwhile, Goku would proceed to start throwing hands with Belmont, as they were pretty even until Goku turned Super Saiyan, as he proceeds to violate Belmont, forcing him to use even more power. But even so, Goku was absorbing his energy and would release a punch so fast that Belmont could not react. So he's basically using his second ability. Basically as they were fighting, Goku would absorb his energy and store it in his hand and release it, doubling the punch's speed and strength. And Belmont couldn't react to this and would send him flying. This punch would send him flying, as Belmont would crash into a mountain, saying, "That hurt," as he would blitz back at Goku using full power, as Goku would use Super Saiyan 2, as they are right now even yet again. But as the fight continued, they continued throwing punches and kicks that would shake the planet. Goku had enough, and he went all out. He went Super Saiyan 3, and this would change the tide of the battle. Oh, I need a water break. So as I was saying, this would change the tide of the battle, as Belmont would get folded like a lawn chair. Goku would slam into the ground next to Toppo, as Belmont would be severely injured, but would try one final thing, Potara Fusion. As before this fight, a week before, you had like a flashback, Belmont would actually give Toppo this earring that he said was very special to him, as Toppo wouldn't think too much of it because he doesn't know about Potara Fusion. He just gave it to him. As he gives it to him and wears it on his ear, saying that if this is something important that he wants him to wear, that he should wear it. But yeah, we end the flashback and go back to this fight. Toppo, who would already be wearing an earring, would begin to glow with Belmont, as Belmont would put one on his ear, as both of them would begin to glow, as the bodies would fly towards each other, and after they made contact, a bright light would be seen. As the bright light dissipates, a new fighter would be in their place. Verpo, the fusion of both Belmont and Toppo, they'd say. Goku and Jiren would be stunned by the fusion's power, wondering, how are they so strong? As, they would try to tag team. They ended up tag teaming Verpo, but Verpo would give Goku and Jiren a run for their money. But once Jiren goes all out, the fight would go back in their favor. The fight would last a few more minutes, as Goku and Jiren would release their battle cry. As they're fighting very hard, and they were throwing punches and kicks. Verpo was getting decimated, but then he'd end up violating one of them, so it's like a back and forth, a tug of war, basically. But Goku, once he lands a little cut with his Keyblade, he would weaken Verpo to the point where Goku and Jiren would able to win the fight and get the fight in their favor. And when Jiren goes all out, it's also wraps for Verpo. So yeah. As the fight would last a few more minutes, Goku and Jiren would release out their battle cry as they would say their final attack. Goku, who had absorbed a lot of Verpo's energy, would release it throughout his whole body, doubling his speed and strength. Now he has monstrous amounts of speed and strength. Meanwhile, Jiren would gather up all of his remaining energy and would release it in the form of a Ki Blast. Goku, who would land the first attack to finish him off, as he'd yell, God Breaker, Dragon Fist, injuring Verpo greatly. But Jiren would land the finishing blow, yelling Colossal Blast, as he'd basically release his Ki Blast and would leave no trace of Belmont or Toppo behind, as leaving Goku and Jiren the winner. We time skip a few weeks after the massive battle. Goku and Jiren would wake up, basically in the presence of the Omni King and the Grand Priest, as they would instantly bow, get up from where they were lying or laying down, as they get up and bow in fear, because they know that this guy is the real deal. They can sense it, so they bow in fear. As the Grand Priest would say, no need to fear. That's right. That's right, Zeno would say cheerfully, as the Grand Priest would explain why they're here, telling them that killing Belmont and the candidate of God of Destruction was a foolish and reckless move, and they should be punished, as Goku and Jiren close their eyes and prepare to accept their fate. But we can't let it slide. If both of you can take up the mantle of God of Destruction in Belmont's stead. For we know Belmont had an evil plan to get rid of all the destroyers using you two. You were a part of the Pride Troopers using you two, who were a part of the Pride Troopers to do so. He needed you two to gain fame and power, so all the other universes or other universe inhabitants would rely on Universe 11's resources instead of their own. And since the most destroyers really don't pay attention to the mortals anyway, as he continues to explain that if the destroyer neglects his duty to keep the mortals in line, then they should be destroyed. And that's what Belmont was going after. So we move. As the Grand Priest finishes explaining, he asks them, do you, Son Goku and Jiren, take the role of destroyers? They both nod, replying confidently, we do. Both Jiren and Goku would get released from Zeno's world, remembering what the Grand Priest and Zeno would say, we expect great things from you. As they would take this to heart and would begin their new life as the Destroyer. But that will be it for What If Goku Was Sent to Jiren's World. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next What If scenario. Peace.